I think in a case of law, in the justice of this scenario, her change of feelings are not relevant. If I give up my child for adoption and then I decide later on that I really want that child back, too bad. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off that the mother has made.
So a deal is a deal. You agree with Patrick?
I agree with Patrick. A deal is a deal. Yes.
Good. Yes.
I would say that, though I'm not really sure if I agree with the idea that the child has a right to their mother, I think the mother definitely has a right to her child. And I also think that there are some areas where market forces shouldn't necessarily penetrate. I think that the whole surrogate mother area smacks a little bit of dealing in human beings. Seems dehumanizing, and it doesn't really seem right. So that's my main reasoning.
And tell us your name.
I'm Andrew.
Andrew, what is dehumanizing about buying and selling the right to a child for money? What is dehumanizing about it?
Well, because you're buying someone's biological right. I mean, you can't, in the law, as it's stated, you can't sell your own child. Like, were you to have a child, I believe that the law prohibits you selling it to another person or selling it
So this is
to
like
slavery.
baby selling.
Right. To a certain extent. I mean, though there is a contract with another person, you've made agreements and whatnot, there is an undeniable emotional bond that takes place between a mother and a child. And it's wrong to simply ignore this because you've written out something contractually.
All right, you want to reply to Andrew? Stay there.
You point out there's an undeniable emotional bond. I feel like in this situation, we're not necessarily arguing against adoption or surrogacy in itself. We're just sort of pointing out the emotional differences.
Well, but wait, I mean, it's easy to break everything down to numbers and say, oh, we have contracts like you're buying and selling a car. But there are underlying emotions. I mean, you're dealing with people. I mean, these are not objects to be bought and sold.
All right, what about Andrew's claim that this is like baby selling?
I believe that adoption and surrogacy should be permitted. Whether or not I actually will partake in it is not really relevant, but I think that the government should give its citizens the rights to allow for adoption and surrogacy.
But adoption is not, according to
Is
the law.
adoption baby selling?
Well, do you think you should be able to bid for a baby that's up for adoption? That's Andrew's challenge.
Do I think I should be able to bid for a baby? I'm not sure. It's a market. I mean, I feel like the extent to which it's been applied, I'm not sure if the government should be able to permit it, and I have to think about it more, but...
All right, fair enough. Are you satisfied, Andrew?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think surrogacy should be permitted. I think that people can do it, but I don't think that it should be forced upon people that once the contract is signed, it's absolutely like the end all. I think that it's unenforceable.
So people should be free, Andrew, to enter into these contracts, but it should not be enforceable in a court.
Not in a court, no.
Who would like to join on one side or the other? Yes?
I think I have an interesting perspective on this because my brother was actually one of the people who donated to a sperm bank, and he was paid a very large amount of money. He was 6 feet tall, but not blonde. He had dimples, though. So he actually has... I'm an aunt now, and he has a daughter. He donated his sperm to a lesbian couple in Oklahoma, and he has been contacted by them, and he has seen pictures of his daughter, but he still does not feel an emotional bond to his daughter. He just has a sense of curiosity about what she looks like and what she's doing and how she is. He doesn't feel love for his child. So from this experience, I think the bond between a mother and a child cannot be compared to the bond between the father and the child.
That's really interesting. What's your name?
Vivian.
Vivian. So we've got the case of surrogacy, commercial surrogacy. And it's been compared to baby selling, and we've been exploring whether that analogy is apt. And it can also be compared, as you point out, to sperm selling. But you're saying that sperm selling and baby selling, or even surrogacy, are very different
Yes,
because
they're
of
unequal services.
They're unequal services. Mm-hmm. And that's because, Vivian, you say that the tie, the bond.
Yes, and also the time investment that's given by a mother, 9 months, cannot be compared to a man, going into a sperm bank, looking at pornography, and, depositing into a cup. I don't think those are equal.
Good. All right. So
because that's what happens in a sperm bank.
All right. So this is really interesting.